I got one question. What are you doing for you? What are you doing to show yourself some love? In this world, I know it gets really busy. We got jobs and some of us got kids and all these responsibilities, right? But when do you put time aside for you? And I'm speaking to those who need this or can just from hearing that question, you already wrecking your brain trying to figure out when's the last time you've done something for yourself. Not necessarily anything tangible. It could be tangible, right? But as long as it was for you and you only. I'm not saying, you and your wife went to dinner or you took your kids to vacation or you and your husband, y'all went out and did this or whatever. Or even just like whatever, just I'm not talking about the something that's for you specifically. I asked that question because last year I found myself in a situation where I was asked that question and I didn't have an answer for it. The question was asked to me, when the last time I showed myself some love? When the last time I did something for me out of love for myself? And I didn't have an answer. And I noticed the more I was quiet on not answering the question, the emotions start, coming up. And I even cried because I'm a grown man who didn't have an answer. What have I been doing for, at that time, 43 years of my life? I mean, how am I'm at the age of 43 at this time, and I can't even remember the last time I did anything that was for me solely. And it wrecked me. And I think a lot of us are living in life the same kind of way. We're given these responsibilities, whether you believe in men and women roles, that's not the conversation. But speaking from a man's point of view, a lot of us feel like we're providers and protectors. And in that covers a lot of ground, right? Whether you have families or your immediate family, you have to take care. You go work and you provide and you put food on the table. You watch out for everybody. You make sure that everything's in front of you, right? You put everything first around you. You know what I mean? Your wife and your kids got to eat everything. I mean, rightfully so. I get that. But when it comes to carving out time for yourself, what you do is include people in that. Well, I'll take my wife on vacation, or me and the kids will go do this today. But when's the last time you got to thinking about, you know what? I just want to go to the cigar lounge. I don't know if you're a certain age range, something I would like to do, right? Or I like to go, I don't know, do anything. As long as it's for you. Something that's my own thing. My wife don't share in it. My kids don't share in it. I think it's important that we all have that thing that's just for us. It gives us a little bit of space without making space with people you love and people you adore in your life, right? It gives me that space to break away for a second, just to appreciate all the things I have and more when I come back. That's what photography did for me. I told my good friend, Mr. Howard, that I couldn't answer that question. And first thing he said was, why don't you make videos? Why don't you create content? And I was thinking, I never thought of that. I just never thought about making content. Sounds interesting. I do like technology. And he gave me a camera. And once I picked up that camera, I never put it back down. It changed my life completely. It was something that I have for me that I learned to love, that I can be in this space of my own and just create by myself. I don't need approval from nobody to do it. It's safe. It's legal. It doesn't hurt anyone. And it scratches my creative itch that I have from just being a creative. So for me, it was refreshing. I felt like I got a new lease on life, finding this new thing. So when I ask that question, I'm not asking, I know it seems like a cliche question, but when you get a certain age, you kind of operate in like muscle memory, right? Oh, I'm supposed to go to work and go provide for kids and go home and make sure the wife is this, and then you go back to work the next like a robot. You know what I mean? And yeah, you take care of your family and all that stuff like that, but it's important we need stuff for us because now I'm talking to men specifically now because for men, self-care isn't really promoted to us. There's no self-care commercials for men. There's no like, yo, guys, you should all do. There's none of that. Women got self-care sections in the stores, right? Right. Everything's geared toward women and self-care, and and that's dope because we all need it. That everybody have their own stresses, their own things that they need to release, but it's not marketed to men that kind of way. And the crazy thing about men is that when you talk about self-care in men, people think it's feminine, which is weird if you ask me. Why you can't take care of yourself? Why are men against manicures and pedicures? Like regular hygiene stuff that you're supposed to do. Why aren't men going out just to go relax or go take a walk in the woods or go take a day trip with your guys and go hang out at me and my guys supposed to be planning a trip to Yellowstone to go take pictures. I'm excited just for the idea of that trip. To get away with some like-minded individuals, do something that's for me. And we all have found a likeliness in the same thing. And that's just a breath of fresh air for me. It helps me stay sane. You know what I mean? So I'm not going to make this video super long. I just think it's important that we all find something that's for you and you only. Men and women. Find something for you. Find something that has nothing to do with your spouse or your children. Something that's for you, that you can have a release in. You can go relaxing and be in that space where you're in your own mind and just clock out, right? Just clock out, just be in a moment of whatever that is. I think it's important. I think when you do come back to the reality of like your work life or married life or whatever the case may be, you come back with a refreshed feeling where you can start anew and have more appreciation for doing the stuff that you are doing. Because now that you found that thing, you can always go back to it. You can always set the time apart to go back to that thing you want to do. I think it's important. I think, and I did not, before last year, I never thought this. Now for me, some of you may have it. Some of you may have it. Some of you probably been knowing this thing and y'all been doing that. I didn't. Up until last year, I didn't have an answer. I just didn't. And it changed my life and my perspective on how I want to live life. Because I will always, from now until the day I leave this earth, carve some time out or carve something out that's just for me. Content creating is technically just for me, but the fact that it's being viewed, it has a purpose now. So now I'm doing something for me and creating purpose. Trying to inspire, trying to motivate, trying to teach. I'm actually learning as I'm reading comments and responding to people back and forth. So this also has become a big purpose and a big release for me. That's why I'm starting to do videos so much. That's why it's so easy for me to jump in front of this camera and do another video. So, yeah, man, I just wish you all find that thing. Find that thing that's just yours. Focus on that and go hard at that. And then get back to your other stuff. You got to do work. You got to do the family stuff. You got to do, that's all that's a given. Obviously, you got to do that. That's important, right? But your sanity and you having a release from all other stresses of the world, that's just as important. So make sure you put some time aside just for creating that thing or the love of that other thing that you like to do. Or create something. I didn't know I liked a camera until I got one. So it just kind of fell up on me. First thing I did was pray. I asked God, if this is not for me, take it away from me. If this is not in your plans, take this camera away from me. Whatever it involves, take it away from me. Not only did he not take it away from me, last year he advanced me in my photography career. I got paid some gigs. I did my first gallery last year. It's all my first year of photography. I did some big production studio, behind the scenes stuff. I did some photo shoots. Yeah. And it changed my life. And I got some bigger plans for what I want to do in photography also. So, yes. Pick that thing up, whatever that is, figure it out, find out what you like to do, and do it. Trust me. Trust me. Trust me. It will change your life. God bless. Peace.